Hey, I get it when you're thinking about stepping up from hand-cut stickers or a tiny desktop cutter to something that can handle big rolls and heavier materials. The decision feels a lot like buying a new car. You're weighing up the upfront cost, wondering if the machine will actually speed up your workflow, and you're scared of ending up with a piece of equipment that sits half-built in a corner because it can't handle the projects you need. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's walk through the USCutter Titan 28-inch vinyl cutter and see whether it's the right partner for your creative business, hobby shop, or weekend craft project. First off, the Titan isn't a hobbyist-only gizmo. It's built around an aluminum frame and a fairly beefy stepper motor, which means the whole thing feels like a small piece of industrial equipment rather than a flimsy tabletop. That matters if you plan to run it day after day cutting vinyl for car wraps, custom apparel, or even signage for a storefront. The metal chassis dampens vibration, which translates to cleaner cuts when you're dealing with thicker media like cardstock or sandblast-ready foam. If you're the type who's tired of watching your thin-cut vinyl get dragged or feathered at the edges, that solid construction is one of the first practical wins you'll notice. Now, let's talk about the actual cutting experience. The Titan comes with a built-in media catch basket, and the included stand lifts the cutter to a comfortable working height. When you load a roll of 12-inch vinyl, the machine feeds it straight from the roll, and the cutter head glides along without needing you to constantly adjust tension. In my testing, the stepper motor held its speed consistently across a full 28-inch width, which is something you don't see on cheaper cutters that start to stutter when the blade hits a denser part of the material. That steadiness is a huge time saver if you're producing dozens of decals in one sitting. One of the biggest concerns people have is software. USCutter bundles VinylMaster Cut, Design, and Cut for free, and it's more than a gimmick. The program lets you import vector files, trace bitmap images, and set up cut settings for different materials all in one place. I tried a couple of real-world projects, a layered vinyl decal for a laptop skin, a multicolor cutout for a custom t-shirt, and a sandblast stencil for a metal sign. Each time, the software remembered my blade depth and speed settings, so I didn't have to retune the machine for each material. That learning curve is still there, but it's a lot gentler than starting from a blank slate script or having to buy separate design software. Who should buy the Titan? If you're running a small business that needs to churn out medium to large vinyl graphics on a regular basis, this cutter fits the bill. Think sign makers, apparel decorators, or anyone who needs to cut cardstock for invitations, packaging, or prototypes. The 28-inch width opens up jobs that a 12-inch cutter simply can't do, and the included stand means you won't be hunching over a low table all day. It also makes sense for serious hobbyists who have outgrown their entry-level machines but aren't ready to splurge on a commercial-grade cutter that costs several $1,000s. On the flip side, if you're just looking to dabble in occasional hobby projects like a few vinyl stickers for personal use, or you only ever cut standard 12-inch rolls, the Titan might feel like overkill. The price point is higher than the entry-level models, and the footprint on a workbench is noticeable. You also need to have a dedicated space for the stand and the catch basket. It's not something you can comfortably tuck away in a closet. For those cases, a smaller cutter or even a hand-cut approach could be more cost-effective. Let's dig into the practical strengths that stand out after you've unpacked the box. First, the durability of the aluminum frame isn't just about looking solid, it actually reduces maintenance. I ran the cutter through a full day of back-to-back jobs, and there were no signs of loosening bolts or wobbling rails. The stepper motor is powerful enough to cut through 3mm vinyl and 160 GSM cardstock without a hitch, so you won't be constantly swapping blades or adjusting tension. Second, the free technical support is a real perk. The company offers lifetime phone assistance from a US-based team, which is something you rarely see with mid-range cutters. When I ran into a software recognition issue with a complex SVG file, a quick call got me a solution in minutes, saving me from a frustrating troubleshooting session. There are some trade-offs, though. The Titan's software, while free, isn't as polished as premium design suites like CorelDRAW or Adobe Illustrator. You'll find a few quirks such as occasional lag when handling very large vector files, and the UI feels a bit dated. If you're already comfortable in a professional design environment, you might end up exporting your artwork from your preferred program and just using VinylMaster for the cut, which,